something that I'm planning, I dare you to say something. My focus is A1. Every dog has its day, it's been mine since day one. This is real grind and I'm still climbing. While you still trying, I'm still shining. It's real blinding. And I'm getting hotter too. Talking top two, I'm not a two. You let the pressure bother you and I do what I gotta do. Let's go hard. Coming close to me, flow is on atomic, I'm starting fires through poetry. The hardest out, staying loyal, no falling out. And if you step into the court, be ready, we ballin' out, yeah. The coldest of teens, they know what we bring, don't try us. They know in between, we go for these dreams in silence. Hard work, don't mistake it for magic. We been shooting in the gym, this is target in practice, yeah. And I'm just getting started, getting feet wet. It's all in repetition, ain't a secret. All facts, all black dress code. Pay me my respect, collecting every debt. Oh, the hardest. I bring the pain. Not what you used to. It's all part of the game. Yeah, I just gotta go hard. I just gotta go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. We just gotta go hard. I go the hardest. I bring the pain. Not what you used to. It's all part of the game. Yeah, I just gotta go hard. I just gotta go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Yeah. Oh yeah, the beast's back. Adrenaline pumping through my veins, can't relax. Original, I am not the same as these cats. I sting them if they never ever mindin' they beeswax. I don't ever cap, but I'm wearing like 3 hats. Never been a rat, but I know where the cheese at. You'll never get a trophy cause they all here where we at. You better believe that. When it's all said and done, I'll still be here standing. Never took a loss and it ain't something that I'm planning. I dare you to say something. My focus is A1. Every dog has its day, it's been mine since day one. This is real grinding, I'm still climbing. While you still trying, I'm still shining. It's real blinding. And I'm getting hotter too. Talking top 2, I'm not a 2. You let the pressure bother you when I do what I gotta do. Let's go hard. I just gotta go hard. Go hard. Go hard. They ain't coming close to me. Flow is on atomic, I'm starting fires through poetry. The hardest out, staying loyal, no falling out. And if you step into the court, be ready, we ballin' out. Yeah, the coldest of teens, they know what we bring, don't try us. Ain't no in between, we go for these dreams in silence. Hard work, don't mistake it for magic. We been shooting in the gym, this is target and practice. Yeah. And I'm just getting started, get my feet wet. It's all in repetition, ain't a secret. All facts, all black dress code. Pay me my respect, collecting every debt. Oh, the hardest. I bring the pain. Not what you used to. It's all part of the game. Yeah, I just gotta go hard. I just gotta go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Yeah. 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 Let's go. We just gotta go hard. I go the hardest. I bring the pain. Not what you used to. It's all part of the game. Yeah, I just gotta go hard. I just gotta go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Yeah. Oh yeah, the beast back. Adrenaline pumping through my veins, can't relax. Original, I am not the same as these cats. I sting them if they never ever mind and they beeswax. I don't ever cap, but I'm wearing like 3 hats. Never been a rat, but I know where the cheese at. You'll never get a trophy cause they all here where we at. You better believe that. When it's all said and done, I'll still be here standing. Never took a loss and it ain't something that I'm planning. I dare you to say something, my focus is A1. Every dog has his day, it's been mine since day one. This is real grinding, I'm still climbing. While you still trying, I'm still shining. It's real blinding, and I'm getting hotter too. Talking top 2, I'm not a 2. You let the pressure bother you when I do what I gotta do. Let's go hard. I just gotta go hard. Go hard. Go hard. They ain't coming close to me. Flow is on atomic, I'm starting fires through poetry. The hardest out, staying loyal, no falling out. And if you step into the court, be ready, we ballin' out. Yeah, the coldest of teens, they know what we bring, don't try us. Ain't no in between, we go for these dreams in silence. Hard work, don't mistake it for magic. We been shooting in the gym, this is target and practice. Yeah. And I'm just getting started, get my feet wet. It's all in repetition, ain't a secret. All facts, all black dress code. Pay me my respect, collecting every debt. Oh, the hardest. I bring the pain. Not what you used to. It's all part of the game. Yeah, I just gotta go hard. I just gotta go hard.
Welcome back to Spain. Bienvenidos al circuito de Navarra. It is time to enjoy the last race of the 2025 E4 Spanish Winter Championship. It is time for the race that decides the first champion of this 2025, the champion of this winter competition that has served for these drivers to start getting into temperature. And temperature they will need to get a little bit extra because yesterday was cold, was miserable, was rainy, was windy, and it was not the best conditions for racing. But our prayers were answered, and the temperatures, the weather is much, much better today. Even though, to be honest, this morning was still a little bit rainy, but the sun has come out because the weather knows that this is the time for racing. This is the time to see who will become the E4 2024 Spanish Winter Championship winner, the owner of the crown. We have two main candidates, of course. We are talking about Thomas Strauben and Jan Prizowski, although after yesterday's results, we have a clear favorite in the Belgian driver who will nonetheless start a little bit further behind than we might have expected. We are looking at our results table from qualifying this morning, and we have to keep in mind as you are watching the scenes in the circuit in Navarra, a little bit cloudy still, but clearly much better than yesterday. As we were saying, the presence of the championship contenders is a bit perhaps more delayed than they would have liked in terms of qualifying results. We will find Thomas Strauben starting from 11th place on the grid, while Jan Prizowski will be starting from 13th. So the race starting order gives Strauben a better position to become a champion this afternoon. But of course, we do have to wait until the 30 minutes plus 1 lap race will be over to have our conclusion. And if this is the qualifying result this morning, that is owed to the tricky, very, very tricky conditions that we had in qualifying to this morning. And in these conditions, the fastest driver has been Ian Eggmans from KCL MP Motorsport, who has shown once again that when conditions get complicated, he is always one to look out for. The also Belgian driver, one of the Belgian drivers who have been standouts in the Spanish Winter Championships, has become the pole sitter for more than 1 second over Andrei Petrovic, the second place driver with the Technicar machine. Behind them, René Lammers will be starting from 3rd place, and Gino Trappa will be starting from 4th, the Argentinian driver who has been doing steady progress over the Spanish Winter Championship. Of course, some of our spectators will be wondering what exactly is going on with the time schedule. Of course, as you know, in this kind of race weekends, it is always tricky to maintain the exact schedule around a whole day. And as you know, there have been other races also taking place here in Navarra from other national classes in the Spanish championships, and those have caused a little bit of a delay, and so we will have the race starting a little bit later than it is now. The pit lane is opening right now at 1:05 local time, and we are expecting the race to be starting in roughly 10 minutes time. We will need these cars to complete their installation laps, to get back into the grid, and to prepare for what will be the last race of this Spanish Winter Championship. That is in the E4 category, because we will still have the Eurocup 3 Spanish Winter Championship final races in Motorland Aragon at the end of the month, where they will share the track with the Spanish F4 Championship. And so we are seeing the cars on track. Remember, this is just the installation lap, so the cars are leaving the pit lane, heading towards the grid. Some of them might do a second installation lap if they feel like they need to assess the track conditions a little bit better. But normally, most cars will be heading down the grid and preparing for that race start. Once again, note that we will have a title fight, that we are following the evolutions of Thomas Strauben and Jan Prizowski, who have been the fastest drivers around the season. And we are expecting them to, once again, be the main contenders in this race, at least for a recovery race. They will be starting from outside the top 10, But of course, they do still have a total of 12 points between them. So there are still possibilities that things could still happen. We are talking about the championship lead for Thomas Strauben, who is currently on 130 points. As we mentioned, 12 ahead of Jan Brzozowski with 118, while Vivek Kantan is currently in third position of the championship with 73 points, which is 8 more than René Lammers with 61, and 12 more than Ian Eggmans in 5th place with a total of 57 points. Of course, we have to consider that Ian Eggmans is going to start from the pole position, so he has a chance, remote though it may be, to finish the championship in 3rd place. So we still have several fights to look out for, both on track and in terms of championship points. So for those of you who are following not just the Spanish Winter Championship for the on-track racing, but also for what this means for the F4 Spanish Championship that will start in spring, well, that is the perfect prologue and in a sense also an epilogue for this series. So you will have absolutely a good action to start taking notes on which drivers we should keep an eye on for the regular season. I definitely have my notes on, and I am definitely taking note on which of these drivers could do something special when the action gets back on track in just 3 more weeks. One such man is Christopher Fegali, the driver from Lebanon, which has been, of course, a very competitive driver throughout the previous rounds and as well as this one here in Navarra, but he has definitely had pretty bad luck in his racing. 2 podium finishes, 1 in Jerez, 1 in Portimao and in Algarve, and 0 points so far here in Navarra, but he would have a last chance to try and recover, if not for a penalty that has sent him back to starting from quite further down the grid. And if my numbers, my data is not wrong, he will be starting from 28th position. So he will have a tall order if he wants to try and get into the top 10. Especially because we know that these drivers are going to be always aggressive, always eager, always hungry to fight and overtake on track. And this sometimes leads to some excess of safety car activities. Right now we're watching, this is number 23, this is Jan Brzozowski, this is one of the main contenders for the championship. This is the man who was leading the championship when the season started in Jerez. This is the man who won also a total of 4 races, but he has 2 retirements, while his championship rival Thomas Strauben only has 1. So that would put Strauben in a better position in terms of championship. Strauben, who has had a very, very good run of results. He finished yesterday's races in 2nd and 3rd place, and that means that he is now chaining a total of 5 consecutive top 3s for a total of 6, while Jan Brzozowski has only been on the podium when he has won a race. This is one of the stories of this 2025 Spanish Winter Championship. It is not the only one. As we said, Christopher Fegali is a driver who we wish to see perhaps a bit more often up ahead, as well as Niklas Saufler, who has been a bit more consistent this weekend in Navarra. He struggled a little bit more in Jerez and Portimao, but he has shown that he has the speed to be there. We also want to see Nathan Tai, whom we know that he is very competitive when he is on the race. He has been struggling a little bit more on qualifying, and he needs to sort those issues to be a championship contender, a race-winning contender, as well as, of course, the man we're seeing right now on the grid, Andrei Petrovic, who so far only has 4 points in the championship, but he has had a couple of races where he was showing that he had the speed to fight with top contenders, and he could have an opportunity to challenge for the win today here in Navarra. And down the grid we have our man on the field, Miguel Portillo, who is already waiting for us and ready to give us all the information. Miguel, how are you doing?
Indeed, here waiting for the race to start. Hello, everybody. Hello, Alex. We are just expecting the action to start. We are waiting for the fight for the championship. Jan Prigonski starting in the 13th position. Today we had like a super weird qualifying. Everybody, all the two guys who are fighting for the championships are back in the grid. So everybody who is fighting for the first position in other races are in the middle of the package. So we have like such a weird grid, and the guys who are fighting for the championship, Jan Prigonski 13th, and in 10th position, because we have some penalties in the last moment, 10th position for Straven, who maybe he's going to be crowned as a champion. Let's see what happens in the race.
Exactly, Miguel Portillo, thank you very much for bringing us all the information from the grid so far. I do want to ask you a question. I know that you will probably bet for Thomas Straven. As you mentioned, he is the man who is leading the championship right now. But I want to ask you, what do you think about this different grid order from usual? Because we have some unusual protagonists at the top of the field. And do you think we could see maybe a technical win today?
That's it, the traffic, Alex, everybody is going to be inside of the grid into this race because there are so many people involved. The guys who are fighting for the championship start here. Lucas, everybody is a little bit nervous, trying to realize what they have to do to try to conquer the championship. Everybody like a greeting, saying, come on, Jan, you can do it, let's go for it. He has to finish in 4th position and expect Straven don't get some points. But that's why, because the qualifying was super weird, because some of them started the qualifying in wet tires and then others went with dry compounds, and they made a mistake because the guys who was with the wet compounds got the best lap, or the better lap than the others, so it was super weird. That's why we got Straven in this position, who was trying to get the maximum in the last moment of the qualifying. Also, he was with the dry compound, and he's starting here in 3rd position, just waiting for the start, just to keep the momentum, to try to keep some points and don't fail. If he have no mistake, he's gonna take the championship. Jan need to recover and expect something weird.
Thank you very much, Miguel Portillo. I'll let you get out of the grid because I know that you still have some time to walk out. We don't want you to be there when the racing starts. Hopefully we can talk to you again before maybe the race is over, but if not, we will hopefully talk to the champion with you. Thank you again, Miguel Portillo, for supporting us throughout this whole 2025 Spanish Winter Championship season. And as you were mentioning, we have a title fight that is going beyond the obvious. It is not just the two drivers fighting among themselves. They will have to deal with the traffic. They will have to deal with the amount of rivals on track. And this is not two drivers who are starting from the first row on the grid. This is two drivers who are starting from outside the top 10, and they will both need to recover. Of course, Jan Prigonski is in a more tricky position because he needs not just to score points, he needs to take as many points as possible while expecting some difficulties for his rival. Meanwhile, Thomas Straven could play it a little bit safer because he knows as long as he's just behind his rival, he's safe for the championship. But I suspect that these drivers always want to do things in style. They want to give it their all. They want to show that they're not just playing chess. They are racing drivers, and they have to show that they have the skills to win it on track, not just with the numbers. And so we're watching all the drivers getting underway on this formation lap. Things are starting to move. The sky is starting to shine. The rain is nowhere to be seen. And even though it was important this morning with qualifying session, right now it is but a distant memory. A memory, though, that for some of these drivers means that the race is going to be a little bit trickier. Well, I don't know about you folks, but I'm pretty exhausted this weekend because the amount of excitement has brought us to this point, has brought us to a point where things are reaching the most exciting moment of the season. The title is in the air. And so we have to draw a little bit of the last strength to enjoy these last 30 minutes plus one lap. And I think the moment we see those lights going out, all the exhaustion, all the tiredness that these teams and that these drivers may have after a long, long weekend will disappear, will vanish, and they will forget all about it. They will focus on the racing, and so should we. The temperatures, important. It is cold here still in Navarra, not as cold as it was yesterday. but beyond the live timing, which was showing some pretty unusual numbers, some of them not exactly necessarily correct, it is still quite cold. And of course, on that topic of the live timing, for those of you that want to follow the race with the live timing, we would definitely recommend that you give a follow to the Spanish Winter Championship Instagram account, where you will find in the last story, one of the latest stories, you will find a link to the Alcamel Systems website, where you can find that live timing to follow the race with us. So that would be the ideal tool to accompany these images that are coming from us to us from Navarra, and that will help us see how this race develops. We were watching for just a moment Thomas Strauben, that number 99, that is getting ready for that last challenge of the Spanish Winter Championship. Once again, starting from 10th place in the end, Thomas Strauben. Jan Przybylski will be starting from 13th. And those are the two drivers that you want to keep an eye on, number 99 and number 23, when it comes to title fights. But once again, I repeat, and this is important, we are not here just for the titles, we are here for the racing. And the racing will be in the hands of these drivers, those that are getting back to the start-finish stride, as we watch Ian Eggmans, Andrej Petrovic, René Lammers, Gino Trappa, Nathan Tai, Sacha Van Patbosch, the first 6 drivers getting to their positions and trying to get a little bit more of a cheeky temperature into their tires and brakes. This is crucial, it is important. Why? Because the first braking point is a little bit far in Navarra. The first corner is a flat-out corner for these drivers. The second one is not necessarily a hard braking area, and it is only the third corner which actually has a proper braking space. And so these drivers need to keep the temperatures high, especially those in the first positions of the grid, because they will have to wait a little bit more than they would like before they get all the temperatures that they want. And so, for the first time this weekend, we will have a standing start. The 2 previous starts were behind the safety car due to the presence of the rain on track, or the water, I should say. And we are getting ready for our first and only standing start of the grid. The lights will go out. It is 4, 5, lights out, and the last race of the season is starting. And we have a tricky start from Ian Eggmans, who is going to let Petrovic and maybe even Lammers get past. And remember, this is a long straight, and it will be crucial to see who is able to stay in front ahead of this turn 2, which is a lightly tapping of the brake area before the hard braking on turn 3. And I think we have René Lammers taking the lead ahead of Andrej Petrovic, and it is Ian Eggmans who keeps third place. He was starting from pole position, but he's lost a couple places, and he will have to fight back. Meanwhile, we keep an eye also on the championship contenders behind. Thomas Strauben up to 8th place, Jan Przybylski up to 11th. They both need to push, and they only have half an hour to do so. René Lammers taking the lead. We have a front wing that has taken freedom from its owner, and I should like to see who exactly is it that has lost the front wing, because there is a car with some issues in there. But other than that, we are having a clean... No! That's just the moment when I was saying we have a clean start, and I think it was one of the Campos drivers. I am not sure if that could be one of the main championship contenders. We do have some action getting a little bit spicier. That will be, I am completely sure, reason for a safety car. We do have a yellow flag for the time being, and I would be surprised if we do not have a neutralized race. I can see Vivek Kantan being demoted on the timing screens, and we have a safety car confirmed right now. So we have our first interruption of the action on track. And I think it is Jan Przybylski. I think this might be it. This is Jan Przybylski, who is out of the race, and so this automatically is going to give the title to Thomas Strauben. Well, that was an underwhelming ending to this championship fight, and not one we would have liked to see. And we are watching the replay, and this is what happened behind. But that was the crash that led Jan Przydowski out of the track. This is very, very unfortunate. That was very unfortunate, and most likely, from what we could see from this angle, not necessarily his own doing. That one, I think, was one of those racing incidents where, unfortunately, sometimes there is a victim who is taken out without necessarily having done anything wrong themselves. Lack of fortune for Jan Przydowski, who was potentially one of the, of course, favorites this weekend, who took, of course, the race win yesterday, had 4 race wins in total, but unfortunately he is going to leave the Navarra circuit without the goal that he had in mind, which was the championship. We also have out of the track, or out of the race, I should say, Vivek Kantan, another of the Campos drivers. We are watching them right now. We also have Nacho Tuñón out of the race, number 17. We are seeing his car right now, one of the Technicar machines, and also the number 8 by Philippe Armand Carras. Unfortunately, those are the 4 retirements of this frankly quite active, quite spicy start of the race. And this has been, I have to say it, this has been a shame. We would have absolutely loved to see Thomas Strauben and Jan Przydowski recovering during the race, getting positions back, trying to move up the race, move up the field, and who knows where they would have arrived if not for this kind of situation. Dino Trappa is apparently going through the pit lane, so that would be one of the cars which had some damage, and this leaves the Argentinian as out of his chances for fighting for a good position. It's unfortunate as well because he was one of the main standouts of this morning's qualifying. He was looking to having a good result. We are, of course, waiting to see what exactly goes on with the trackside operators, the marshals that are making sure that these cars are moved out of the track as quickly as possible, so that we may have a race restart as soon as it is safe to do so. And the work continues. Is this Vivek Kantan's machine, as well as Nacho Tuñón. Nacho Tuñón, who did also a good qualifying this morning, but he had a penalty from yesterday for the grid, and so he had to start a little bit further behind than he would have liked. And of course, this is Jan Przydowski's machine on the right. What a shame of an ending to the Spanish Winter Championship for him. He had earned the right to fight for the title today, and unfortunately, this was not what he wanted. Work continues, and I think we are still going to be here waiting for a little bit. There are, after all, 3 cars still to recover. And so, after one green flag lap, we are back to the very common safety car conditions this weekend. Yesterday was perhaps a little bit more justified with the track conditions. Today we do have a blue sky, or partially blue sky at least. We do have a dry track. But we are also seeing these cars having to keep up those temperatures. And this is perhaps the most difficult moment for a race car driver, which is following the safety car not knowing exactly when the race is going to be restarted, having to keep up that concentration, that focus, and having to do all those little tasks like keeping the brakes in the right temperature range, keeping the tires in the right temperature range. And this is not always easy. And it is why in some other classes, we sometimes hear drivers complaining on the radio and saying, come on, tell the safety car to go faster. Because they need sometimes a little bit faster of a safety car to make sure that they can race at those temperatures, even when the race is neutralized. And this is the disappointment, of course, in campus racing. They've lost 2 of their cars in this beginning of the race. One of them was, of course, a candidate for the title. The other one, Vive Cantan, we didn't mention that as well, but that is a lost chance for the North American rookie to be the third classified in the championship. In fact, with Ian Eggmans being around the podium area, he could even snatch that position and become the first classified rookie of the Spanish Winter Championship. That would be also an important prize to take home. So we might see Ian Eggmans taking a little bit of a risk. He is right now 16 points behind Vivek Kantan, so he does need to be at least in the 2 top spots of the race. It would not be enough to be in 3rd position, even with the fastest lap, because he would be tied on points with Kantan, and if both drivers tie on points, then that result would go for the Campos driver. And of course, the Argentinian fans, we know that they are as passionate as ever. They are also in Eurocup 3, but they do have a lot of reasons to pay attention to E4, and so they will as well in Spanish Formula 4 Championship. Gino Trapa, Santiago Baztarrica, Santino Panetta, and Fran Monarca, the 4 Argentinian drivers who have been in this E4 championship. And so, of course, it will be great to see them coming back, hopefully, for the Spanish F4 championship. We do love to see passionate fans, and of course, they are hoping to reiterate, to replicate the success of another famous compatriot, such as Franco Colapinto, who won in the Spanish Formula 4 Championship in 2019, and just 5 years later, he made his debut in Formula 1. Already scored points, and already an important driver in the market. This is what these drivers are hoping for. Who knows, maybe one of these young talents in just 4 or 5 years could be knocking on the door of Formula 1. Maybe or other categories, IndyCar, or World Endurance Championship, or other sorts of high-level, high-profile categories where they do a fantastic job for sure. We are still waiting to see what exactly goes on in terms of restart time. The marshals are keeping their work to get those stranded cars out of the side. And from what I am hearing, that work proceeds apace, and we might have a restart soon. Not just yet, but we might have a restart in just a few minutes. And I think we might have our man on the field. I think Miguel Portillo is ready to give us a little bit of an update from the pit lane. Hopefully we might hear from him very, very soon. In the meantime, we keep watching these drivers, keeping that temperature, keeping those brakes and tires at the right range. And I can guarantee, I know I've said this before, but those drivers who do a better job at it will be those drivers that will have a better restart when the time comes. And I think as I am watching these drivers that we do not have the safety car right there, this is the sign of things to come. To be precise, the sign that we have a race restart and we will have a green flag, so we will leave our friend Miguel Portillo wait for us at the end of the race, hopefully without any more interruption, because now it's time to go back to racing, and René Lammers is pushing hard very, very early. He doesn't want to speculate, he doesn't want to play around, he's just pressing the accelerator and going for it. There we go. We are back into green flag conditions. We are watching the number 9 MP Motorsport driver leaving the race. It is time to go back on track. He is right now leaving that race. Just 17 minutes plus 1 lap to the end. With Andrei Petrovic in second place, Ian Eggmans in third, Nathan Dye, Thomas Brouwen already up to 5th place. What a great recovery by the Belgian driver in just 1 green flag lap and a little bit more, just a few more corners, and he's already getting ready to have a very good way to celebrate that title. And so we are watching the top drivers pushing hard, knowing that there is only half a race to go. Oh, that was a little bit wide there. That was Niklas Saufler going wide into the back straight. And Nathan Dye, as aggressive as always, going into 4th and into 3rd, that is actually, overtaking Ian Eggmans. The Roden Motorsport driver, who now needs to defend that 3rd place. And if he keeps 3rd place into that new corner of that new section, he might be a threat for Petrovic and maybe even for Lammers. He might have a chance, Nathan Dye. The number 46 coming from further down the grid. The British driver doing his best to try and catch the top 2. And Thomas Brouwen, he's already pushing Ian Eggmans, his compatriot, his countryman, his mate on the podium. Also yesterday on that first race of the weekend. But now he's saying, well, there's a title here and I want to celebrate it with some sparkling and with some extra silverware. That is probably the usual thinking method of these champions. Why celebrate things from just the garage when you can celebrate it from the podium? And he's trying, he's definitely trying. We also see the pressure that is coming from behind. That is, if I'm not mistaken, Yannis Steven Haydens. So the Belgian drivers are now forming that fight between them, which is a fight for 4th place. We see Brouwen drafting his well-known friend, trying to attack around the outside. And it is a tricky situation to do it. If he keeps a good momentum, he might have a chance to do the cross line, but he has a rival ahead. And that was a fantastic move by Niklas Saufler as well, very opportunistic, who is trying that outside line, doesn't stick it in the end, but he definitely made an attempt. And we saw Yannis Steven Haydens doing a very, very good move into the inside of number 99, Thomas Brouwen. Careful also with Costa coming from behind this gaggle of cars. And he will try to make the move on Saufler, I would say. And he's already doing that. Side by side on the main straight. And he has the inside line, so that will be helpful ahead of turn 2 and especially turn 3. Well, we see a car having trouble right there in the main straight. I'm not sure if that was a lap car. I think it was. And we do see the attack from Yannis Steven Haydens overtaking Ian Eggmans. The fight of the Belgians. Now with another position change. And so Steven Haydens continues his climb to a potential podium. We're watching him now. Ahead of Eggmans, ahead of Brouwen. Brouwen right now actually managed to get past Eggmans as well. Now side by side between the two Belgians, and it is Brouwen who takes the inside line, and that is enough to earn himself that 4th place, and he seems to have the pace. So let's see if he's able to push to try and get away from his rivals, because he might have a chance to aim for that podium. He will have to get a move on, because Lammers, Petrovic, and Tai are still fairly far away. And we are seeing his racing group still almost 4 seconds away from the leaders. That is going to be a tall order. That is not going to be easy for Strauben, who, once again, keep that in mind, with this result, he's very obviously the new Spanish Winter Championship E4 champion. And even if he did not finish the race, with these results, that is enough for him to take the crown home with him. But if he can do it from the podium, why not? That is what's going on through his mind right now, and he will be pushing to try and catch the drivers ahead. And let's see how these two are also doing it. These second and third place drivers, we are talking about Andrei Petrovic and Nathan Tai, who are fighting for that second place. René Lammers, who is just outside of the reach. And now this is the tricky moment for these drivers. They have to decide, what do we do? Do we give it our all for that P2? Do we fight tooth and nail for that second place? Or do we want to actually try and catch the leader? Well, this is something that they have to decide by themselves. Just as Thomas Strauben decided to take that risk, to take that lunge onto his countryman, to get past and to do what he's doing right now. We're seeing it. He's putting some space between himself and Stephen Hayden's. That is 1.2 in just 1 lap. But he is still 4 seconds behind Nathan Tai. And 4 seconds in 10 minutes and a half plus 1 lap. It is not going to be easy. But he is certainly trying. He's having very, very quick sectors. He had right now Thomas Strauben the fastest second sector of the whole race. So he will try his best to try and get this result, to try and get to the podium. And what would help him is a fight between these two, Petrovic and Tai, who are, of course, currently in second and third place. And as we were saying before the start of the race, Petrovic, who has shown that he has the speed to be fighting at the top. Some of these races, we have seen him a couple of times in these top positions, but somehow, luck was never on his side, and he has a chance to redeem himself. He has a chance to be on the podium, to earn himself that result that will surely help him talk to the sponsors and say, hey, I can do it as well. Our team can do it. We can fight for wins, and I show it to you through this sheer pace on track. And especially if he can defend himself from Nathan Tai, one of the most aggressive drivers on track, one of those guys that you never want to have behind, because he is always able to recover. He is always able to surprise you and overtake you. We've seen Nathan Tai do some good recovery races, so if you can defend yourself from him, then that's a very, very, very good lesson to show others. And this would be a very welcome result for the technical team as well, because they haven't always had these opportunities, and it is always fantastic to see more teams sharing the spoils of war, more teams sharing the silverware, more teams being around the top, because that means that the upcoming Spanish Formula 4 Championship 2025 season will be one to watch. And the gap between Nathan Tai and Thomas Strauben is down to just 3 seconds. Fastest lap by the Belgian driver. He was 6/10 quicker than the British driver ahead of him. He is definitely doing everything he can to catch the top drivers. I cannot tell if he's going to make it, but he is definitely not going to leave anything on the table. And this result as well might be interesting for one certain driver called René Lammers, who is just 12 points behind the already retired Vivek Kantan. So René Lammers, who could potentially earn himself a third place in the championship if he's able to win this race. That would be more than enough to do it. Meanwhile, Ian Eggmans would score with this result right now 8 points, which would not be enough to catch Vivek Kantan, who would then stay as the highest placed rookie in this Spanish Winter Championship. And so we are following this chasing group, which is tightly packed with quite a few cars in a rather small space. And so we are paying attention to, right now, the men on the screens, Stephen Haydens in that 6th place, or should I say 5th place, ahead of Eggmans in 6th, who is the first rookie, with Costa, Saufler, Spina and Fiorentino rounding up the top 10, the points paying positions. For those who might be joining us a little bit late, who maybe haven't had the luck of enjoying the Spanish Winter Championship or the Spanish Formula 4 Championship in the past, if you see this overall classification on the left side, those red numbers are used to denote the rookie drivers. And so this is also one of the points that we pay attention to when we want to see which of the new drivers is doing something special. And in this case, it's Ian Eggmans, who is the first place rookie right now on track. It would also normally feature Vivek Kantan, but unfortunately he had a bit less fortune that he might have wanted. Five minutes and a half plus 1 lap to go, and we are watching the drivers in the podium positions, and we are seeing Thomas Trouwen just 2 seconds away from Nathan Tye. It is going to be tight for the Belgian to get to 3rd place, but as we often say, one thing is to catch your rival, another completely different thing is to complete the overtake. René Lammers, 2.5 clear of Andrei Petrovic in 2nd place. Nathan Tye just following him under half a second away. And Thomas Trouwen, he keeps that pressure, he keeps the heat, he keeps the temperature, and he keeps being faster than the guys ahead. Behind, Yanni Stephen Haydens has managed to break free of his rivals going behind him. He manages to be in that 5th place with a little bit more safety. Eggmans, Costa, Saufler, Spina, Fiorentino in that tightly packed group that is going to be fighting for 6th place. And we're talking about, in this case, 4 drivers in the space of 1.5 seconds. And this is the man that is going to become the champion today. Well, technically he's already the champion, because even if he had a retirement, that is enough for him to beat Jan Przybylski on points. And so that will be our champion. But we need the race to finish to know exactly where he is going to be, to know exactly if he can celebrate this success from the podium, or he has to do it from the garage with his team. René Lammers still leading the race with just over 3 minutes to go. He is definitely controlling the race, not taking any extra risks, and he has done a fantastic job today, making good use of a much better condition on track. He was quick to get on the lead, he was quick to get into that 1st place, and he has been clearly dominating the last race of the weekend, the second feature race of the Spanish Winter Championship here in Navarra. Behind them, Petrovic tie, Strauben just 1 second away from that third place. It is definitely going to be one of the stories of today. It is barely enough time to arrive. We know that this is most likely going to mean 3 more laps. Remember that once the clock reaches 0, we do have that extra lap. I think we have enough time for a total of 3 more laps, counting this one. So Strauben really needs to get on pace to keep that pressure if he wants to do it. And he may have struggled this morning with the tire choice, as Miguel Portillo was very aptly explaining to us on the grid. That choice of slick tires when all the drivers went for the safest wet tire option. That meant that he was starting from 10th on the grid, but he quickly rose up the ranks. He got up to 5th place after that restart, after the safety car period. And he has fought tooth and nail to get up to 4th, to get away from the drivers who would stop him. And now, just 1 minute and 20 seconds to go, 2 laps ahead, and he has effectively caught up to the podium paying positions. It is time to fight now, and we still will have some fighting left in us to close off the weekend with Thomas Strauben, who has shown that even though he did not have the best possible start with that retirement, or that 0 I should say, in the sprint race in Jerez, he recovered with a fantastic weekend in Portimao before tackling that title fight here in Navarra with enough strength to finally take that crown home. Following Nathan Tai up close, and Andrei Petrovic, whom I think might be safe, if only by virtue of how Nathan Tai is going to have to defend himself from the attacks of the Griffin Corbay Campos racing driver. We do not see yet the number 99 making any attempt on that 3rd place, but it is, I suspect, a matter of time. And so the clock reaches 0. That means once we are back on the main straight, it will be time to enter the last lap of the race. And we won't have much more time ahead of us. The chances are slipping away. Andrei Petrovic is pushing hard under second to René Lammers. It might not be enough, but he has certainly not given up yet. And we enter the final lap. René Lammers needs to keep that speed if he is to win the race. So far in this Spanish Winter Championship, he did win the sprint race in Jerez. The Dutch driver, of course, son of the former Formula 1 and Endurance Championship driver, Jan Lammers. And of course, René Lammers wants to get that final win of the Spanish Winter Championship, especially if it means that he would be P3 in the championship. He's clear ahead of Andrei Petrovic, over a second at that point, although he must have had a tiny mistake there because he goes down that difference to 0.8. And Strauben, who has been trying, but I'm not sure if that is enough to get to Nathan Tai. That might not be enough. And as we reach that new sector, the time is running out, and I am starting to suspect that we may not see a change in position until the checkered flag. We are watching now René Lammers as we enter the last few corners. He is not necessarily defending hard, but he is managing that gap to Andrei Petrovic. And as we get to the last couple of corners, we are watching René Lammers from MP Motorsport, who has done a fantastic job and who will be taking his second win of the 2025 Spanish Winter Championship ahead of Petrovic and Tai on the podium. And now we can finally confirm Thomas Strauben wins the 2025 Spanish Winter Championship in the E4 category. It is a title for the Belgian driver, ahead of Ian Aikmans, finally 5th in the race. Miguel Costa in 6th, Niklas Saufler in 7th place, ahead of Spina, Fiorentino and Sacha Van Pat Bosch, rounding up the top 10. Well, that was an intense race, and I won't lie to you, I still miss having seen Jan Przybylski in this race. I think that would have been a fantastic story to have, because if Thomas Strauben got to that 4th place, who knows where Jan Przybylski might have arrived. But there are no ifs in motorsport. There are only the results. There is only what the clock tells us, what the time tells us on the clock, what we see on the live timing, because those are the things that do not speak any kind of lie. And what is clearly the truth today is that René Lammers has done a fantastic job, and he has taken that first feature race win, second win if we count that sprint race win in Jerez, and that is enough to give us a very, very good feeling to finish that Spanish Winter Championship 2025 in the E4 category. Of course, those who have been listening often to us will remember that the Eurocup 3 will still have one more round in Motorland Aragon at the end of the month. That will be parallel to the Formula 4 Spanish Championship, which will be starting the regular season in that venue. So we will have, as often things are in motorsport, one season ending and one season starting. All of it together, all of it in one tightly, neatly packaged little weekend, which won't be perhaps so little. And so that has been our last race of the weekend, as we mentioned, with a great result from these drivers. And I am seeing right now that we have a time penalty, 5 seconds for René Lammers for having jumped the start. And so that means, and apologies for having caught that a little bit later, that means that there will be a change in terms of result. And that puts René Lammers down to 4th place. So this is why we are seeing Thomas Strauben in that 3rd place. That is enough for the number 99, the new champion, to be on the podium. But it also means that it is Andrej Petrovic who is going to take that win for the Technicar team. First win for himself, first win for the team. That is going to be one big story for them. And he will be accompanied on the podium by Nathan Tai and Thomas Strauben. Here we watch the new champion as he hacks Andre Romera from Campos. And this is our race winner, Andrej Petrovic, who I think was taken by surprise as well, as much as us. And it is finally time on that last attempt that he had of the season. It was the last chance to get that win, and he made it stick. Great, great, great job by the number 77. Great, fantastic job by the Serbian driver, who has managed to take that first victory, which is always such an important moment. And so, as he sends all his love to us and to everyone watching, and as he congratulates Nathan Tai as well, we will be surely hearing from him in just a moment. And it is a well-earned victory for him. As we go down to the pit lane with our man on the field, Miguel Portillo, who will be soon talking to this man, to Andrej Petrovic, who has managed to snatch a win away from fate's hands. And this will also help him climb a few places in the standings. He was 18th before the start of this race and will be much further ahead. Miguel Portillo, thank you. The stage is yours. You are talking to us with our race winner, Andrej Petrovic.
Let's go for it. Andrei, take you by surprise. Last moment, congratulations, you got the win.
Yeah, thank you very much. I was surprised a little bit when I came in the pit lane because I didn't know he had a jump start. I saw he had a very good start, but I was just hoping that I was going to overtake him in the last lap. But then, yeah, it's incredible to come here, first podium of the season, and it's a win.
What about the race? Because you got the pace, you were all together fighting in the first position. You even was even in the podium, but late win, but the pace was super good.
Yeah, I would be very happy with the podium as well, but we knew from the past rounds that we had a really good pace in the dry, and it was just a matter of time when we were going to get the opportunity to be in the front. And you know, from the beginning, I knew I had good pace, and the other guys had a little bit faster pace than me in the beginning, but towards the end, I was good with saving the tires and could push a lot more and extend the gap to P3.
And everything was because the qualifying was super good, super tricky this morning, but you did like a good choice because of the tires.
Yeah, it was a tricky, but it was a good decision in the beginning. I have to say a big thank you to my team. This is their best result ever, so I'm really happy. We were working really hard in the past few months to achieve this, and of course to my sponsor Alta Banca. And I hope we can continue this in the Spanish Championship.
You really deserve. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Miguel Portillo, for bringing us those words from a very, very, very happy Andrej Petrovic, who is showing what this means for the team. This is the best result for the team, and this kind of result is always very welcome for these teams who are maybe not as used to being around the top. And it is, as we said earlier, great to see these teams joining the fray, joining the battle, and showing that they can be always fighting for those victories. But beyond that, we have to talk to our championship winner, to our title, to our new crown owner, Miguel Portillo. Time for you to talk to Thomas Trauben.
Here comes the champions. Congratulations, not only because of the race, because it was so good, just in general, you was the most regular driver on the grid.
Yeah, it was quite a good race as well here in Navarra. We finished off the weekend in quite good race, I think. Yeah, it was close on points till now. We've been fighting, me and Jan, my teammate, for the whole season, and yeah, it's been really tough as well. This morning with the slicks in the wet, yeah, we started on P13, but then few people got penalties, so then we went to P10, and we fought our way back from P10 to P3, which was a quite good result for me.
Yeah, that was a gamble for the race. You also have the pace for try to recover. But also thinking about the championship, you had like a super weekend in Portimao. Everything was about that. But in general, you did a super great job.
Yeah, in Jerez we had a puncture in race 2, which dropped us down a lot. But then in the race, yeah, in Portimao we came with our really good results, and yeah, now the winter series is over, and now we will focus on the real championship.
Let's celebrate.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Once again, thank you, Miguel Portillo. That was, of course, a very, very happy new champion, and I think the most important thing to take away from this is how he says, well, yeah, this is a championship, but now we have to do it again. Now we have to do it in the main series. Of course, Miguel Portillo, what do you think? Do you think that he has a chance to become champion when the regular season starts in Motorland in just a few weeks? Because I think that he has a very good chance to do it.
Alex, unbelievable result. Unbelievable championship that he has done. Straben and also Jan Prigowski, both of them did a super great championship. But Straben, as I asked him, he did a super weekend in Portimao. And be regular, for me, is the key point for winning a championship. He only won one race, but he always been there in the podium, close to the podium. I think he's his sixth podium of this Spanish Winter Championship. Unbelievable in 9 races. He's gonna go 6 podium, so he did a super great job, and also the pace. And you got nervous into the car, but you know you have to do your own work and to do your job, and to show that you can do let everything done. So everything that you can do with your hands, Straven showed us that he's a super champion and a super driver. So for me, it's super fair, and congratulations to him.
As you say, Miguel, he has been in the top 4 in a total of 8 of the 9 races of the championship. Can you imagine that? The consistency of the Belgian driver has been amazing. And yes, of course, it is true that Jan Przewski has been very quick as well. He has won a total of 4 races. That is a lot. So I am sure that we will have this duel continuing into the regular season. And I think that we are in for a very, very fun season ahead of us. Miguel, I want to take the chance as well to thank you very much for your work. All this Spanish Winter Championship has been a fantastic pleasure having you around with us and bringing us all the news from the track side. So I don't know if there's anything else that you have seen that you want to share with us, because this has been definitely a fun 2025 Spanish Winter Championship.
Thank you very much to you all, to all the viewers, and also to you, Alex, doing all the commentators in English and trying to show us all the emotion, the thrilling, the drama, and everything on it. We have enjoyed a lot, and see that drivers, for me, it's everything in racing. When you saw them so young driving and show their style, you know, when they comes to the farther the championship or going up in the trying to find their dream to go to Formula One, you know exactly how they are going to develop and how they're going to drive in the next step. So for me, it's essential to see them racing here. So just a pleasure to see them and also to work with you guys.
Miguel, I can see in your face how much you like seeing these young drivers fighting on track, because as you know, this is where you learn what the champions of tomorrow look like. Once again, thank you very much. It has been a great pleasure. And we will now wait for the podium. I hope that you can enjoy a little bit as well. And if you can talk to them, even if it's outside of the camera, talk to them and see what they tell you. See how they evaluate, how they rate this 2025 Spanish Winter Championship. And as we wait for the podium, well, Miguel was saying it very, very well. Thomas Straven has been very, very consistent this season. And I think we are hearing that we will not have the chance to watch the podium celebrations. But once again, we have to mention that Thomas Straven, he has been the most consistent driver this season with a total of 7 podium finishes, with those 2 third places, 3 second places, 2 wins that have netted him the championship. And of course, from our side, it has been a pleasure to share the Spanish Winter Championship E4 class with you all. And we definitely look forward to having you joining us in the Motorland Aragon in just 3 weeks' time, because that is when the Spanish Formula 4 Championship is going to start. We will have the regular season starting for these young drivers, but we will also have the end of the Spanish Winter Championship for the Euro Cup 3 category. So we have lots of action, lots of excitement ahead of us. So from our side, it is time to say goodbye, and we wish that you will enjoy a rest of a fantastic Sunday. But do not forget, racing doesn't stop in winter, and we will continue still in Motorland Aragon. See you then.
Yeah. Let's go. We just gotta go hard. I go the hardest. I bring the pain. Not what you used to. It's all part of the game. Yeah, I just gotta go hard. I just gotta go hard. Go hard. Go hard. Yeah. Oh yeah, the beast back. Adrenaline pumping through my veins, can't relax. Original, I am not the same as these cats. I sting them if they never ever mind and they beeswax. I don't ever cap, but I'm wearing like 3 hats. Never been a rat, but I know where the cheese at. You'll never get a trophy cause they all here where we at. You better believe that. When it's all said and done, I'll still be here standing.